Okay, I'm going to run through now a very basic setup. So imagine, if you can, you have a garden bed that you're going to be putting two lights in. We need a connector to connect these lights, and we're also going to include a lead because perhaps this light is further away from the transformer than the length of this cable. The transformer itself, these come in four sizes. We do a 12 watt, a 30 watt, a 60 watt and a 105 watt. Each transformer will have mounting holes so they can be screwed to stakes or fences, or they can be buried below ground. They will all come with a nice flexible cable and a UK plug. This simply pulls off and would plug straight into an outdoor socket. If you're a professional electrician, you can, if you wish, cut this plug off. It won't invalidate our warranty. You can then wire this into various controls. You can have your actual switch line boxes in the garden. You can go, for example, into a wise box, or like our own installation teams will connect to Rayco switching systems which we mount inside the house. If you're a landscaper and you're not qualified, then you can simply plug this straight into a socket outlet, or you can actually get an electrician in just to put a switched socket in the garden for you if you haven't got one. As a landscaper, you can then fit everything from this point out because all this will be 12 volt. Very simply, we add up our lights. We know this is a 9 watt spike spot. We also have a 4 watt spike spot. So that is 13 watts. 13 watts is too big for our 12 watt transformer, so we would select a 30 watt transformer. There are multiple ways of wiring your garden, and once you're used to the system, you will fall into the best way that you feel comfortable with. But on this example, we are going to come straight out of our transformer onto a three-way connector. If this garden bed is, for example, 5 meters away from where the transformer is sited, in between these 2 points you would fit a 5 meter lead. We're going to remove one of these caps and connect our 9 watt spike spotlight. For simplicity, we haven't connected the ground spike. This light is 2 meters away on another feature, so we are going to use the 2 meter lead that comes with the light fitting. Very simply, we undo this again and we connect on our lead. They're a male-female connector, so you won't get these the wrong way round. At this point, we're now ready to connect our 4 watt spike spot. And that is a basic setup in a small scale of how you would connect up two lights past or going through a three-way connector via a transformer. Obviously, when this socket gets switched on, your lights will come on. Always ensure this is done up nice and tight. When you put your ground spike on, which can be hammered into the ground first if it's hard, you can then adjust your light to the angle you want and do the knuckle up an extra half a turn. Okay, so we now have a situation where we have an outside socket. We've ensured that it's protected by an RCD or an RCBO. But that socket is not switched from inside the house, and we do not want to have to come out to this socket every evening and switch on physically and then go back indoors to get our lights on. So at Nightlux we come up with a very simple timed photocell, which will be covered in a little bit more detail in another video. This is a 12 volt photocell and comes with a ground spike, and it's designed to be pushed into a garden bed. The location of this should be in a position that receives a fair amount of sunlight. Should not be placed in the shade, because obviously being a photocell, it will disturb the on and off times. So where does this photocell fit? Very simply, between the transformer and the first cable connector. So we will undo this. We would take our photocell and we would connect our photocell in line with our light fittings. You can't get these connections wrong because they're male-female, they'll only go on one way. As you can see now, once the transformer's powered up, it will pass through the photocell. This will now control your lights. During the daytime, when the photocell is in the off position, your lights won't work. As soon as it comes down to the dusk level required, this photocell will switch on and bring your lights on.